Hello, once again, my name is Tim Grady. I'm coming to you from the Lawton Seventh-day Adventist Church, Lawton, Oklahoma, USA. I'm starting a new series. This is going to be called Seventh-day Adventist. If you are not leaving the cities, skills you need to develop, build, get, however you want to put it. These are the skills you need to survive. Okay, today is November 7th, 2025. Had to go check my on the computer screen. Um, so skills you need to do. I'm starting to cover apartment homesteading, growing your own food. As we know, we are in the middle of a government shutdown. We are things are not going to get better. Let's just put it that way. I personally believe that we are very, very close to the close of probation for the Seventh-day Adventist, defined as the first Sunday law or anti-Sabbath law. The form of that will probably take in a law passed by the House, the Senate, and signed by the President in forcing businesses to close on Sunday by encouraging them to pay time and a half. This involves the unions. This involves the No Kings. This involves all the other reasons why I believe that we are very, very close to the Seventh-day Adventist close of probation. That means the little time of trouble is coming here now, shortly. This is, if you're not able to leave the cities, if you are not planning to leave the cities, you had better start figuring a way to grow your own food. Aeroponics, I've covered that in the video already. I've covered other apartment homesteadings in container gardening. I've covered the self-watering bucket gardening. I've covered the self-watering bucket gardening in the where you use a rain gutter to put the buckets on so they all have the same water source, cutting down the number of buckets, cutting the material costs down. I've covered all the basics that go into that. But the next thing you need to do is growing, well, not lentils, is how to grow sprouting and how to grow your own food. Okay, sprouting and microgreens are the most efficient way of getting the most nutrition out of the least amount of effort, the least amount of space, and the least amount of materials. If you can develop sprouting and microgreen, you can at least get your nutrition. If you can keep your body with nutrients, all you need to do is grow or somehow obtain protein and carbohydrates. Basic survival. And if you're eating greens, and yes, you can store up many different types of beans. You can store up many types of things. You can seeds that you can sprout and grow into microgreens. Now, the concept I want to get today is plants. Here's a man that got beans out of the grocery store and planted them. I like this guy's. I like this guy's channel because he does seed saving. He does a lot of just, can I take these seeds out of, but these are all skills. But if you're going to plant, the other thing is growing your own seed. What seeds can you grow? Alfalfa. Can you grow alfalfa to seed? Yes. That can be done in 45 to 60 days. You can start harvesting seed out of alfalfa plants. You can grow alfalfa in very high density areas. A seed that most people don't think of is go out and harvest cattails. In each cattail head, now I have never gotten to the point where I've made my skills to where I can take a cattail head and sprout all of those. Now, there are people that can get high sprouting and consume those sprouts. That's an out-of-the-box thinking. You find things like that. Gourds, you can grow these little gourds that are not fit for eating, and you can grow those to seed. Here's alfalfa, again, grown in a very dense area where you can collect the seeds and replant your alfalfa and pull more seeds in. You can go to a co-op and buy seeds for planting. And here's a great one. Here's a great one. Skills you need. Growing mushrooms. Growing mushrooms in small spaces is a great, high nutritious, high value food. Very, very important skill. Growing your own mung beans and sprouting them from sprouts to the plant, taking a percentage of them and sprouting them, or I should say, taking a small percentage of them and replanting them. Biblical principle. A seed has many-fold return. Here's a good idea. Growing mung beans in bags. Again, I've covered root ball, growing mung beans. Somewhere in here, I have banana plants. Oh, here's another one. Growing what's called branch fruit trees in pots. Here is an orange tree. Here's a bunch of citrus trees right here where you can get continuous harvest out of your citrus trees. Here's a stick apple tree. This is another concept you need to get. Container, growing these little mini container fruit trees. Highly, highly nutritious, dense ways. Top 10 fruit trees to grow in containers or pots. Very good. A lot of them you can grow in closets with LED lights. That's a whole nother skill. Again, apartment homesteading. If you are out there, you can become food independent or close to food independent or closer to food independence. But again, you must develop the skills. And even if you are going to be moving into the country, if you develop these skills, these are skills you can start developing now before you move to the city. How to grow apples in containers. He's doing it on his back patio. Again, these are out-of-the-box thinking you need to learn how to do, whether you move to the country or not. Again, this is a warning to the Seventh-day Adventist. Skills cannot be taken away from you. This, rooting and pruning trees for this, managing your root ball, that's a skill you've got to maintain if you're going to do this. Cloning fruit trees, how to get a sucker and take that and grow that one little sucker off into a stick fruit tree. That is the other advantage to a stick fruit tree is you can get in a year or year and a half, you can get fruit off of that tree. Okay, now this stick fruit plant may not produce, but five would be pushing it. Some people can get 7-ish, depending on the different fruit tree type. There are many different concepts of growing trees. Banana trees, mini banana trees. Yeah, you only get small bananas, but you get them growing carrots like this. Yeah, this is a skill you need to learn how to do. You need to learn how to make the soil so it will grow it. So soil management, soil building, soil rotating, all of these skills that these people are going to teach you. But this is how to get food in cities. Kitchen gardens. These little micro banana trees. Yeah, they're itty bitty little bananas, but you get a lot of them. And they're also highly nutritious. They're also more denser nutrition. But there are a lot of things here that we need to discuss in growing your skills. If you have a skill, I've had some luck with this, but the only way is get out to do it. Okay. So no matter how you look at this, here's another thing, growing these in bags and these trellises. Yeah, you can grow literally hundreds of pounds. This guy probably has, each bag is probably producing 75 pounds. So there's 600 pounds worth of carbohydrates and proteins, a little bit of protein, a lot of carbohydrates. This is things you need to start learning how to do is if you're a Seventh-day Adventist and not leaving the cities. Become independent. These are the skills you need to get. This is going to be the new series. You will be able to get enough out of this. You've got enough here to put into your search engine. Here's another guy growing carrots in, is this hydroponics? Yeah, he's doing it hydroponic, not in, so he's doing it in a wicking hydroponic to grow carrots. Great idea. Excellent idea. I highly recommend it. Hydroponics, if you're going to be in the city, learn it. Learn what it takes. Learn what it takes to grow it with LED lights. Learn what it takes to grow it in a window garden. Learn these things. These are what skills you need. I don't like this guy's. I do like his channel. But I don't like the way he does his thumbnails. But he is knowledgeable. You can learn from him. Plant-based gardener. There you are. You can now type that into your search engine, and you can now get to his channel. Again, plant-based gardener. Here's what he looks like. Here's his stuff. Again, branch fruit trees. Yes, you can do it at home. What can you do? Produce lots of seeds to sprout? Okay. Plants that produce lots of seeds for sprouting include alfalfa, mung beans, lentils and broccoli. Well, broccoli takes 2 years to bolt to seed. So some of these others, these seeds are not only easy to grow, but also nutritious. These gourds, you can grow gourds that produce lots of seeds, but you wouldn't want to eat those gourds. So again, think outside the box. Start thinking for yourself. Start developing skills. I cannot stress that enough. Growing lentils in containers. Again, yes. And lentils make lots and lots of seeds. So you can now get more out of something that you would not normally have. You can now take the lentil seeds and sprout them instead of Gardner Scott. I recommend his channel. I am not going to put a link to the video, but I will say it. I like his videos. I really like Gardner Scott. Here's what he looks like. Here's what he looks like. Here's the video that we just watched or went through. Supermarket beans. He took supermarket beans and he grew them, saved the seeds, and is replanting them. Now, if you're going to do this aeroponic, you can cut 30% of that time off. You can grow them year round. Again, if you're apartment homesteading, you have to use high density and different methods. Aeroponics, hydroponics. I cannot recommend aquaponics because it takes too long to get it set up. Bush beans, plant selection. All those are skills. How to grow lentils the best way, yes. But if you can do this aeroponics in a very tight area, aeroponics, some of the skills you need to learn in aeroponics is you have to move the air. Because if you're planting something in dense, you have to be able to get the light inside, and you can just put little Christmas lights in LEDs in the proper colors. 2 red, 1 blue. You can go through different ways. What is this one? Must grow plant for anyone with the goal of self-sufficiency. So what plants is he going to recommend? Let's find out. Let's see if he put it in his description. I don't know why it is reloading me every time. Growing lentils again, alfalfa, growing alfalfa for seed. Alfalfa goes to seed very quickly. That's one that grows in. What is that plant? That isn't sorghum, is it? No. Well, again, thinking outside the box is a must do. Mung beans from seeds again. Mung beans in trellises, small area. You could just do this with hydroponics or aquaponics. Well, hydroponics or aeroponics in a small area. And again, anything that grows a lot of seeds for is a very good method. So let's see if I can get this to load. I know this is turning into a longer video than I wanted, but again, develop skills. Skills cannot be taken away from you. The only way you can do it is lose it through a stroke or some other brain injury or death. Other than that, if you are still alive, you can use those skills you learned. Okay, it's not loading. Okay. Wild grains are must grow when looking at growing plants to reduce their dependency outside source. This is important food for animals. Amaranth and sorghum. Yep, two of them. There you are, amaranth and sorghum. Look at how many seeds you can get out of the amaranth and sorghum in very, very tight area. And again, amaranth is a very good one. And sorghum and amaranth, definite survival foods. Probably one of the next videos I'm going to make is what subsistence farmers around the world and what they choose to grow. And again, amaranth and sorghum is aeroponics. I recommend you go to the Wikipedia page. It'll explain it. So again, sorghum and amaranth, plant selection. When you are growing in high density farming methods, plant selection is extremely critical. You have to think outside the box. You have to think about what is not. And these you can go off and just collect in most places around the world. Amaranth is also known as pigweed. I can go collect a whole bunch of pigweed seed all around here in Oklahoma. Pigweed seed, amaranth, sorghum, and look at all the seeds you get out of this. And all those, if you grow them properly, all the rest of it, you have to develop the skills. And with that said, I'm going to end this here. Plant selection, odd methods of growing, aeroponics, hydroponics. I don't recommend aquaponics. There's less learning curve in aeroponics and hydroponics. And one of the videos I'm going to make here, hopefully shortly, is going to be how to mix your own and how to store the chemicals needed. And it's not as many chemicals as you think it is. And it is not as hard to mix your nutrient solution for your aeroponics and hydroponics. With that said, I think I've got this enough. So out here.